Hello my friends, and welcome to World War II History Today, a new daily series where we roll back the clock and take a look at some of the key events that shaped the outcome of the Second World War on this very day in history. We've got a busy one today, folks, so let's hop right into it. Today's date, November 7th. On November 7th, 1917, the Bolshevik Party kicks off the October Revolution in Petrograd, modern-day St. Petersburg, effectively dissolving the Russian Provisional Government, establishing the new Congress of Soviets, and ultimately spurring on the Russian Civil War. 14 years later, on November 7, 1931, Mao Zedong declares a new Chinese-Soviet republic amidst the ongoing Chinese Civil War. On November 7, 1938, Nazi Party member Ernst von Rath is assassinated in Paris by a young Jewish man, Herschel Grisbin, in response to his parents' deportation from Germany. The event sparks a sweeping anti-Jewish pogrom in Germany that comes to be known as Kristallnacht. On November 7, 1940, the Krupp steelworks in Essen, a major production center for the German war effort, is bombed by the RAF. The next year, on November 7, 1941, General Heinz Guderian notes in his journal that German troops are starting to suffer from frostbite as conditions rapidly deteriorate in the push towards Moscow. That same day in Moscow itself, Joseph Stalin makes only his second ever public address to the Soviet people at the Revolution Day parade on Red Square. Stalin claims that the Red Army has killed nearly 500,000 German troops, though at this point this number is substantially inflated. And later that evening, 1,000 miles to the west in Berlin, RAF bombers strike the city, causing minimal damage and suffering an attrition rate of roughly 13%. On November 7, 1942, Rommel's 21st Panzer Division and the British 7th Armored Division meet at Sidi Haneish in Egypt. British forces take the upper hand in the engagement, but fail to stop the German push back towards Mare Sumatra. Across the Mediterranean, the US 306th Bomb Group strikes the German submarine yard at Brest, France. And in occupied Poland, 500 Jews arrive at Auschwitz from a labor camp in the Netherlands. All are killed immediately upon arrival. On November 7, 1943, American B-24s and P-38s strike the Japanese airfield at Rabaul to support the US landings on Bougainville. Later that night, the Japanese land 2 infantry divisions at Koromokina Lagoon on Bougainville to eliminate the US beachhead at Cape Torokina. The two sides will engage in heavy fighting for the next 48 hours, with the Marines eventually completely wiping out the Japanese offensive force. On November 7, 1944, US President Franklin Delano Roosevelt is reelected for his 4th and final term, defeating Republican Governor of New York Thomas Dewey. Over in Germany, Luftwaffe General Adolf Galland visits Walter Novotny's new force of Me-262 fighters with Jagdgeschwader 7 at Bramsch. And finally, on November 7, 1962, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt dies in New York City. And that's what happened today, November 7th, in the history of the Second World War. Busy one today. Be sure to subscribe right here for your daily dose of World War II history. If you missed yesterday's episode, you can check it out right here. And until next time, be well. We'll see you tomorrow.